place originally is in my aunt's name. My aunt had a heart attack, and they went up on the rent. The rent was, when we first moved here, it was $650. I was giving my aunt $500 of it, and she was putting in the balance of it just to help me out. And they went up on the rent. Now the rent is more than my Social Security check, so I can't afford the place.
Bread for the City attorneys represent tenants in landlord-tenant court through the court-based representation project. We also provide tenants with legal information during our regular intake hours in either our Northwest or our Southeast centers. I have a client. He has an oxygen tank and he has other medical issues, and he is currently facing eviction. A writ has already been issued, and he has not, his living situation, his aunt was helping him pay for a place, and he has Social Security disability assistance, so he makes a good amount of money, $600 a month. If he could find an affordable place or a place that was subsidized to fit his income, he would be able to pay monthly at least some portion of that money. But right now he can't find a place.
I have COPD and plus HIV positive. To be honest with you, I probably just drift out in the street, and I'm stressed out about it. I'm worried about it. I have to call. They gave me this phone number to call every day, the landlord and tenant court, to find out whether or not that I'm on the list for the following day.
You have reached the landlord and tenant branch of the District of Columbia Superior Court. Press 1 for English. Press 1 to hear when the U.S. Marshal Service has scheduled evictions for today.
Yes, I live at 1266 Marsh Street Northeast, and I'd like to know whether the U.S. Marshals are scheduled for eviction for tomorrow. All right, thank you. Nothing's scheduled for tomorrow. I went down to the Housing Authority, and they have a long waiting list. They say about a 3-4 year waiting list on just to before they even get to my application.
One issue we're always engaged in is how do we help expand affordable housing here in DC. DC has a very aggressive market both in homeownership and in retail. And what we see part of the mission of DC is to try to help families who think they can't afford to stay here, giving our development partners the opportunity to partner with us so that families who think they can't live in a neighborhood can stay.
14 years to get in housing and been moved 3 times because I was on 7th and L. Marine Barracks want that. They took that. Then I came down here. They want they wanted this property. So I end up moving up on Illinois Avenue, and then when they when they rebuilt this, we end up moving back. To move like that, I feel like a cow. I don't mean no harm. You know, I was born in South Carolina, and the cows would eat up all the grass. And so the farmers would say, okay, well, there's no more grass over here. Let's move them over here where the pasture's greener. And that's what I feel like. I feel like, okay, nothing else down here for us. Let's move them out. It hurts.
We're on 4th and L, where I used to live, right here. Now is Capitol Quarters.
I worked very hard. I was a limo driver, and I was a home health aide, which both of them, one of them paid $10.50 an hour and the other one paid $11.50 an hour. So most of the time I didn't even see the inside of my house.
We have our high-end families who are now moving back into the city, our higher income families. And there's a sense and there's a perception and there's a reality about that pressure pushing some of the lower income families out.
There are normally anywhere from up to 300 cases set per day, and the judge has to dispose of that number every day. To give you an idea, for this year and last year, we have approximately 45,000 cases filed each year, and they have to be handled in one way or the other.
The attorney that I had for Bradford City, Skip March, he's helping me out in putting in applications for different supplemental housing. And he's going to be well and beyond the call to do that. Really take my hat off to the brother. He's real good.
But every day, I wait to get that call to tell me that he's going to be evicted the next day. And every day I try to figure out what I'm going to say to the judge when that day comes to try to delay that somehow. And I don't know that there's really a legal basis for delaying his eviction. But at the same time, I don't think that it's right to have him on the street.
The court is trying to make sure that everyone has access to the courts. And this housing condition calendar was taken out of landlord-tenant because of the volume there. We wanted to have a situation where we could handle this without adding to what's already a very busy docket. One of the reasons we started this program is because of a perception that tenants did not have a simple, efficient, and inexpensive way of notifying the court that they are having problems.
It's quiet. It's clean. We don't see rodents running up and down the road, taking over. We have a new waterfront. It's gorgeous. We have parking spaces. We don't have to worry about loud music. Police is hanging out because somebody's life been threatened, or all those things. They're gone. It's wonderful.
I have nowhere else to go to. My doctor said they wouldn't advise me going to a shelter about my condition. It's not healthy for me to be in a shelter. The only thing I can continue to do is continue to put in the hands of the Lord. And hopefully He will help me out. I call on Him all the time, but I really need Him this time. Now I'd like to know whether the U.S. Marshals are scheduled for eviction for tomorrow.